What if I told you that every hailstone falling from the sky carries hidden records of its journey through the most violent storms on Earth? And that by reading these icy layers, we can uncover secrets about our atmosphere that satellites can't even see. Picture this: a peaceful summer afternoon suddenly turns dark. The sky grows heavy, the air becomes charged, and then it begins, not with gentle raindrops, but with chunks of ice hammering against rooftops, cars, and the ground below. Some are marble-sized, others as large as baseballs. But what's truly astonishing isn't just that ice falls from the sky on a warm day. It's that each of those hailstones contains a detailed diary of its violent creation. Most of us see hail as simple frozen rain, but scientists see something entirely different. They see layered ice spheres that have traveled through storm systems multiple times, collecting secrets in their crystalline structure with each pass. And when you slice one open, you don't just see ice. You read a story written in frozen layers, each representing a different chapter in the hailstone's turbulent life. So how does something so organized and complex form in the chaotic heart of a thunderstorm? The answer begins with a single droplet of water, so small it floats effortlessly on rising air currents. Inside developing thunderstorms, there are powerful updrafts, columns of air rushing upward at speeds that can exceed 100 miles per hour. These updrafts are so strong they can suspend growing hailstones for extended periods, allowing them to accumulate layer after layer of ice. But here's where it gets fascinating. Hailstones don't just grow in a straight path upward. They actually get recycled through different parts of the storm, traveling through regions with varying temperatures and moisture levels. Each time they pass through a zone with supercooled water droplets, liquid water that exists below freezing, they collect another transparent layer of ice. When they move through areas with more ice crystals, they gather cloudy, white layers instead. This alternating journey creates the distinctive layered appearance, clear and opaque bands stacked like tree rings. The clear layers form when the hailstone collects water that freezes slowly, allowing air bubbles to escape. The opaque layers happen when freezing occurs instantly, trapping tiny air bubbles within the ice. But the real magic happens when you realize that the thickness of these layers tells us about the storm's intensity. Thicker layers mean the hailstone spent more time in moisture-rich regions. Multiple thin layers suggest the stone was rapidly cycling through different parts of the storm. The entire structure becomes a three-dimensional weather map frozen in time. The most incredible hailstones aren't necessarily the largest. They're the ones with the most complex internal structures. Some show evidence of having completely melted and refrozen, creating bizarre shapes and textures. Others reveal they formed around unusual nucleation points, sometimes even around insects or dust particles that got swept up into the storm. And the growth process itself is remarkably dynamic. Hailstones don't just grow steadily. They experience periods of rapid growth followed by relative stillness. They collide with other ice particles, sometimes merging, sometimes breaking apart. They might spend minutes, or in extreme cases, even hours, cycling through the storm, growing until they become too heavy for the updrafts to support. That moment when gravity finally wins is what brings hail to the ground. The very forces that created these ice marvels ultimately release them. And when they fall, they don't just tell us about the storm that created them. They give us clues about atmospheric conditions we can't easily measure otherwise. Modern meteorologists use sophisticated radar and computer models to predict severe weather, but hailstones provide ground truth, physical evidence of what actually happened inside those turbulent clouds. By analyzing their size, structure, and layer patterns, scientists can reconstruct the storm's history with remarkable precision. This understanding has practical importance beyond scientific curiosity. The insurance industry uses hail science to verify storm damage claims. Aviation safety experts study hail formation to better protect aircraft. Climate researchers examine whether changing atmospheric conditions are making hailstorms more frequent or severe. What's truly humbling is realizing that every hailstorm, whether it drops pea-sized ice or grapefruit-sized projectiles, is creating millions of these layered time capsules. Each one unique, each one recording a slightly different path through the tempest, each one a frozen witness to nature's raw power. The next time you witness a hailstorm, remember that what's falling from the sky isn't just random ice. It's nature's way of writing its own violent autobiography, one layered sphere at a time. What's the most extreme weather phenomenon you've ever witnessed? Share your story in the comments below. We might feature it in our next exploration of nature's most powerful forces.